Good morning. I'm Karen Taradas with Social U, and today it is time for What's Up Wednesday, where we talk to you about social media tips, tricks, and trends. Live 10 a.m. Central on most of our platforms, 3 of our platforms. So all this month is Halloween, talking about Halloween, and today we're going to talk about how to deal with negative comments and trolls, Halloween trolls. You kind of see where we're coming from. And then we're going to talk about horror stories and nightmares the last 2 weeks of this month. But let's go ahead and get started. And we have a cool download for you this week. So just throwing that out there as well. Okay, first and foremost, today we're going to talk about not just trolls, but negative comments. And I want to start with the negative comments or complaints. We actually do get this question quite often. How do you deal with negative comments? There is an art to it. And we're going to talk about each of the steps. So let's just go ahead and jump in. First and foremost, you have to pay attention and check frequently. It is not a good thing if your negative comments just sit there and don't get any response. It gives other people an opportunity to see that you're not paying attention. You're not really dealing with it. It's very important that you pay attention and you check frequently so you know what's happening on your business pages. Number two, you have to consider it. And once you consider it, respond quickly. What do I mean by consider it? Well, don't respond impulsively. When you respond in the moment, you make really sometimes devastating mistakes. You need to respond cautiously. Step away for a few minutes if you have to kind of cool off and rein it in, bounce it off of another employee or another co-friender and kind of get, rein it in before you type it out. Emotional or defensive replies can seriously damage your brand image more than the original comments. It's okay to make mistakes. Everybody's human. Almost every single person in customer service understands that you're also human and mistakes happen. It's how you deal with the mistake that gets you the biggest response. I mean, it just is. So you have to take all of these things into consideration before you type your response. Okay, so now what do you do? Well, first, seriously, is it your fault? Is the negative comment true? Is it your fault? Is it your fault? If it's something that you actually have control over, you want to apologize publicly. Check for legitimacy. Is this from a real customer? Is it spam? Is it a troll? Is it a competitor? Check out the origin, because a lot of times the origin of the complaint is totally false. You just have to kind of get it in perspective first. Let's make sure it's real. You want to identify what went wrong. Look for specific issues mentioned. Was it, if you're retail, did you close early? If that's the case, check with the person who closed. Did they really close early? Or is this person saying that because they got there late and the person on duty wouldn't let them in? Identify it and take screenshots before you do anything, especially if it seems like it's fake or harassing. Documentation will help you report it later. So make sure you document everything. Okay, so establishing if it's valid or not valid. So step number 4. If it is a valid complaint, thank them for their input. Thank you for sharing your experience. We're sorry to hear you had this experience or this issue. We want to make it right. I'm going to DM you. I'm going to call you so we can address this directly. So they need to know that you're taking them seriously. And as a small business owner, you need to know. I would much rather have somebody tell me you're not a good fit. I don't think we mesh. I don't like the way you did this. I don't like the way that this crew member spoke to me. I'd much rather have them tell me that than to just go off mad. Just tell me. If I can fix it, I want to fix it, especially if it's something we did that's our fault. So thank you for letting me know, 100%. Now, if the complaint is not valid, you're still going to legitimize it by saying we take feedback very seriously. I'm having some difficulty locating you in our system. I'm going to reach out to you privately so you can verify a few answers so I can check it, which again lets the public know you are dealing with it appropriately, accordingly. And just a side note, never argue publicly, ever. Always stay calm and courteous and professional. Always. Okay, number 5, move the rest of the conversation to private if possible. Both examples of that I've already really said. If you figure out it's valid or not valid, make it private. You want to offer to resolve the issue, whether it's by phone or by email or private message. So many unhappy customers, they just want to feel heard. I had an issue this week, a pretty serious issue with my car. I wasn't thrilled, but I'm not going to call. I mean, again, everybody's human. So when I called the place to talk about it, I'm like, I'm not mad. I just want you to know what happened so that you don't do it again. And the manager was very gracious, but I feel like they need to know that. They need to look and see who did it so they can tell them about not doing it again in the future. It's just, I would want to know. Most people just want to feel heard. Private resolution often turns a negative reviewer into a brand advocate, and brand warriors are invaluable for your small business. Okay, number 6, if the review or comment is inappropriate, if it violates platform guidelines, if it has hate speech, profanity, spam, if it's like way off topic, you get those. You'll get those weird Bitcoin reviews on Facebook. A lot of them are under control now, but about a year ago, they were all over the place. It's report it, 100% report it, and delete it and block the person who did it. Just deal with it, especially if it includes hate speech or harassing behavior. It violates guidelines. Deal with it. Number 7, genuinely ask. How can I help you? So once you've taken it offline and you validated that it's a real complaint, ask the person what they want. I worked retail for a long time before I started this business 15 years. And one of the things I learned quickly is 9 times out of 10, they want less than what you're going to or willing to give them or would offer to give them. Just find out what they want. Now, I'm not saying you don't need to bring an offer to the table. I'm so sorry, your next visit will be free, or I'm so sorry if it's a restaurant, here's a free drink, or however you want to do that. But ask them what they need. Of course, always ask. Because they'll tell you. And a lot of times they just want to be heard, so they may not need anything. So if you offer something on top of that, that's how you make your brand warrior right there. Number 8, use the feedback to improve. You share legitimate criticism internally, let your team know what happened, review the process, train your staff, and really, really treat those negative comments as data so you know what to improve and how to improve it. Number 9, if you have a legitimate bad review, encourage positive ones. One of the best things you can do is bury it. Ask happy clients for honest reviews to dilute the impact of the negative one. That's one of the easiest things that you can do is bury, kill them with kindness, bury it with positive. So that's something you want to do. And then, of course, just as a side note, don't delete the negative comments. Do not delete the negative comments, because I have seen this again I worked retail before I got into sales and marketing as a whole. And one of my very first clients had an angry review and he deleted it. And the lady was so mad about how he responded. She made it a personal mission to drag his name wherever she could. So he made it personal and she made it real. So again, the whole team warned him, stop doing that. You're just going to make her mad. Well, when she starts posting on her personal profile and she starts posting on other platforms that he can't delete or he doesn't have control over, and then he's mad, well, what do we do? Nothing. You poke the bear. So now the bear's coming out swinging. You're making it worse. So definitely don't delete the negative comments. And there is a reason that negative comments can help you. I'm going to cover that part at the end. But okay, so let's talk. That's how you deal with negative comments. And we actually have a pretty cool download this week that we're going to offer. It's like a ready-to-use response template kit. If that's something that interests you, you can DM us the word template in an email, and we can send it to you. Happy to send it to you. Just let me know. Okay, now let's talk about if it's fake, if it's spam, trolls. First and foremost, false information. Respond with caution. Keep your responses short and factual. There are people who will make comments that have zero to do with you. And you see the funny versions of these online pretty frequently, where it'll say, I was in the restaurant, I didn't like the experience, and then the owner will comment, we haven't opened yet. So it's okay to respond, especially if it's cautiously, but factually. Respond with caution. Don't argue with crazy. I say this often, especially if it's not your fault. Sometimes the most effective way to deal with a troll is to ignore them. A lot of trolls look for engagement. And there are platforms, Facebook, TikTok, that reward engagement, whether it's negative or not. So arguing with them might just look negative for you and your brand. So arguing might not be a great idea, but you don't have to, I mean, you don't have to delete it if you don't want to, but don't argue with crazy. Everybody's heard that expression, you fight with a pig, you get in the mud, you get the mud on you. You don't argue with crazy. Stay calm. Again, a lot of trolls, their entire purpose is to provoke a reaction. Stay composed, stay professional, even if their comments are hurtful. Because a lot of times if someone can't come up with something legitimate to say about your business, they'll attack you personally, your appearance, your political views, your company that they don't know anything about. So don't take it personally. And, of course, calm. Again, let me say this again. Don't feed the trolls. Don't engage. You can hide the post if you want to. If you hide a post on Facebook, the person who made the post can see it, but anyone who's not connected to them can't see it. So that you can, hide it from view without damaging your page's reputation, especially if you think engaging will escalate the situation and give the troll more attention than they deserve or need. It is okay to use humor if possible. A well-placed joke can really, really diffuse a tense situation and show that you're not taking them seriously, that they're a troll. As long as it stays inside your brand, it would be very on brand for my company to respond with a sarcastic quip. That's who we are. But if you're an attorney or if you're a bank, that's not who you are. It has to be very cautious, very thought out. You definitely need to set boundaries and clearly state that you will not tolerate abuse, profanity, disrespectful behavior so that other people realize that you see it. Again, sometimes ignoring it is the right thing to do, but if it's offensive or if it violates guidelines on the platform, it's got to go. You've got to address it. Even if you just hide it. But if you do respond to it, it's totally okay to say, I won't tolerate this behavior. I won't. So, oh, hey, Becky, who accidentally looks like made a kind of a comment. Good morning, Becky. So set those boundaries. Rude comments, delete with discretion. Don't love to delete. And it's going to come up to each individual organization. You have to have a policy in place for specific situations like profanity. And we have a very high profanity filter. If you're going to be rude or offensive, it's gone. I'm deleting it. If you're going to be rude to our team, gone. So that's the kind of thing that I would delete if it violates or if it's offensive. If the person persists, you can not only delete the comment and report it, you can block them or ban them from your page, which we have done just in a handful of situations, but I'm not going to tolerate that. And you shouldn't have to as a small business owner either. You just shouldn't. And always keep comments inside your brand. If you have multiple locations or if you're handling customer service, you definitely need a response policy in place before the problem occurs. A short guide on tone, timing, escalation steps, next steps that ensures consistency across all the platforms. So we created a simple template download for you to kind of walk you through the steps. Again, if this is something that you're interested in, you can send us a direct message on any of our platforms using the word template and your email, and we'll email you the template. Not all platforms are conducive to certain formats, so it's easier to email it. So absolutely just send us a direct message and we'll send it to you. Okay, I mentioned at the beginning, sometimes negative is a good thing. Why? Why does it matter? And why can negative be a good thing? Well, first and foremost, it shows the public how you deal with negative comments. 85% of consumers are they look for negative reviews in order to figure out how to make an informed decision if it goes wrong. At purchase decisions, and the number skyrockets to 91, the younger the audience member or the client is. So people under 29, they look for negative reviews to see how the company handled it. Did you make it right? Did you attempt to fix it? Were you rude? Did you acknowledge there was a problem? They want to know. And because bad reviews give customers a sense of that worst case scenario, it helps them understand what can go wrong, but more importantly, it helps them understand how much it matters to you, how much they matter to you. Plus, too many positive reviews a lot of times come across as fake, like your mom going in and this is what a good boy. No. So too many positives with zero negatives, it comes across as not transparent. It comes across as fake. And that's something you definitely want to avoid. So just negative reviews don't have to be bad. They can work in your favor. Okay, that is it for this week. Now, next week, we're going to talk about nightmares, mistakes to avoid, very common mistakes that small businesses make consistently to this day. And then the last week of the month, we won't be live. We will go at 10 o'clock, but it won't be live. It'll be pre-recorded. We're going to talk about horror stories. Social media situations that cost people their jobs, their livelihood, their business, so that you, everybody likes a good train wreck, so you can kind of see what not to do. That is it for me today. If you have any questions or need anything, feel free to contact us. And again, direct message us the word template if you would like the download for this week. Until next week, I'm Karen Terradas with Social U, and I'm here to help. Thanks.